and I'm about a half mile away from my house. And I see a line of cars, all like a line of cop cars, all turn. And I look at my daughter and I said, I don't think you're going to make it to class today. But I figured we were being swatted. It didn't occur to me at all that they were going to kick our door down. So I'm not going to step out of my car on the, the wording that you have a warrant. Produce a warrant and I'll step out and comply. No problem. I'm not going to consent to a search. Like, it's a hard and fast rule that I have. Like, they'll do the search, but I'm not consenting to it. So I'm not going to consensually get out of the car. I did happen to have a bullet of cocaine in my pocket. I ditched it. I ditched it in the car.
That must be my daughter's, officer.
What did you was going to happen? I got my payback.
And I'm just starting mine. Yeah, I am on prescriptions. They're my prescriptions.
Prescriptions aren't illegal.
Launch the safe into the woods. Get rid of the drugs. So my 8-year-old's like, Dad says don't open the door. And the cop's like, he said don't open the door for cops. I'm like, where did she say that? What the f are you talking about? The problem with Josh's case is that it's based on him being a fucking retard.
It's a very long threat.
I know.
That's the reason.
That website's mine now, bitch. It's like, Chris Chan, I'm coming for your record. I don't care if people know I lived in a messy house. It's if they try and sue for it, I'll fight it. Josh. Josh, do a push-up.
Everything Aaron said in the past week could be true. Nick was manipulating April. Nick got a hold of April's phone. Nick was tweeting all these things. Nick and April fabricated these texts.
I think they said betrayed, but like I betrayed my wife, my family, my community. Like I did all those things. I know. I'm sorry.
Like, and look, I don't know if this is inappropriate or it might be like painful or whatever. We never really have heard it in detail, like kind of like your perspective of the arrest, because you got pulled over or like.
No,
I mean,
you
you had to like ride with the police to your house while they effected this warrant, or
no. We can do that. We can do that segment whenever you want. Or I can answer you right now.
Yeah. Just you don't have to go into detail. Just kind of want to like get kind of like what your thoughts were that day. When did you realize what was happening? And like, oh fuck, like this is about to all blow up.
When the officer said get out of the car,
yeah,
because I thought we were being swatted. So I've got my daughter and I'm driving her to a class that she had in town. So I'm going to, it's like 15 minutes each way.
So you were leaving the house?
Yep. Leaving the house. And I'm about a half mile away from my house. And I see a line of cars, all like a line of cop cars, all turn
convoy.
Like right in front of me, right? Like they turn right in front of me as I'm pulling up to the stop sign. And I'm like, oh shit. And I look at my daughter and I said, I don't think you're going to make it to class today. Seems like something's going on at the house. And I was about
This is not a drill. This is not a drill. Flush the drugs.
I was about to turn around and yeah, I think April may have tried to call me like right as the cop is there though. Like he's at my window.
They saw your car and recognized your car
so
or you or
yeah, I was in my SUV. They saw it. Someone like they must have, I don't know if they ran the plates as they were going by or someone knew that I had a black black Lincoln Navigator. And they're like, okay, well, it's probably him. So 2 of the cop cars peel out of the convoy. They turn around and they come up behind me. I was just waiting at the stop sign. I'm like, something's going on. So we're waiting, but I figured we were being swatted. It didn't occur to me at all that they were going to kick our door down or anything like that. So the cop comes up to the side, to my window, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna need you to step out of the car. And I was like, yeah, I'm a lawyer, that's not how it works. Yeah, I'm not getting out of this car, thank you. And he goes, I have a warrant to search you. And I said, that's cool, where is it? And he says, well, it's not here. I'm like, well, we're at an impasse then, good sir. So I'm not going to step out of my car on the the wording that you have a warrant. Produce a warrant and I'll step out and comply, no problem. And he says, well, I don't have it with me. And it's like, I used to use that excuse in school too. But that's, again,
my dog ate your warrant.
Like, until then, I'll just stay inside my car. Thank you. I don't really need to get out. And he's like, well, we have a warrant to search you and your house. And I was like, well, that's nice. I don't know what to say. And he goes,
anybody can get a warrant. It's having.
Are you panicking at this point, Nick, or you don't believe him?
No, I just, I wasn't really panicking because it was like, I mean, it was like an oh shit moment, but you can't, like, there's nothing to panic about. They're going to do it or they're not. But I was just like, I'm not going to sit. I'm not going to consent to a search. Like, it's a hard and fast rule that I have. Like, they'll do the search, but I'm not consenting to it. So I'm not going to consensually get out of the car. I don't care that they have a warrant or not. They will not have a recording of me saying okay to the search until I have a warrant in my hand. I say that it ends up not being true when they're like, we're going to bust your door down. So then the guy's like, okay, well, I don't know what to do. So he leaves and, you know, he comes back and he goes, we need the door code to your house. So like, I'm not giving you the fucking door code to my house. I'm like, why don't we just go to the house?
Yeah,
like,
were you just sitting at the stop sign this whole time?
Yeah, we're just sitting there. And I'm like, why don't we just go to the house? If the warrant's up there, this should be really easy. And he's like, well, I have to pat you down first. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Okay, fine. Here, pat me down. Now, I did happen to have a bullet of cocaine in my pocket.
Yay! This is what Aaron said.
But here, kid, take this, stash it.
By the time,
why didn't I give this to Aaron's daughter before this happened?
It's dry shampoo.
I ditched it. I ditched it in the car. The cop he didn't notice. I guess he saw my hand move a little bit. I was very crafty because I had already had that thing pulled out of my pocket by the time he was coming up to my car.
Yes, you have those slender limbs we've all seen.
Yeah.
That must be my daughter's officer.
That's when she did it. This is when it happened. Yeah.
So I have this thing in my left hand, and my car has a couple different spots where you could like store stuff, and one of them is actually right by the handle. So I just casually open my left hand and drop it into this spot. Cop's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing, man. Don't worry about it. Right? Like, I'm not reaching for a gun or anything. And he's like, okay. I'm like, yeah, just pat me down. We'll go up to the house and then show me the warrant and I'll let you in. Like, I'm not an idiot. You can, if you have a warrant, I'm going to let you in. I'm going to comply. And so I get out, they do a pat down. They don't find anything. I'm like, hey, that was a good move on my part. Yeah. I guess. And the warrant ended up not.
And the luck just kept on happening. Oh, no.
Yep. Thank God they didn't find any cocaine. You're free to go.
Before you said that April was calling you, was she calling you to be like, Nick, can you pick up Arby's on the way home? And you're like, God damn it, shut up right now.
No, it was the cops are at the door. Like, what the fuck can I do? The cops are at the door. And of course I would have yelled, flush everything, but
flush everything, put the guns away.
But I can't. There's a cop right there. Like, I didn't.
I had to ask permission to see my own wife at your house. You took her and turned her into a crackhead. You made me gay and made me lick your cum. What did you was going to happen? I got my payback.
And I'm just starting mine.
Jesus Christ.
No, it's so I'm like, all I'm thinking is, well, I'm fucked. Right, like this can only go bad. My only hope is that they'll be too retarded to find the safe, or they won't open it or something. But that's like the most forlorn hope. They're gonna find what's in your house. And so you know, I'm like, can we go up there? I would prefer you not to batter
what's up, officer? It's confidential informant. 11, I got some news on that Rekieta guy. You know, the guy whose cum I ate? Dude is on prescriptions. Arrest him.
So, yeah, I am on prescriptions. They're my prescriptions.
Prescriptions aren't illegal.
So I'm like, just show me the warrant. I'll let you in. I would prefer you not to battering ram open the door. I'm trying to buy time though, right? Like, that's what I'm hoping, is that they'll hold off entering the home. April and Kayla will flush the drugs and get rid of them. Or something.
If only
like
there had been a man in the house.
Well, the problem was these two ladies, neither of them could ever remember the fucking combination for the safe. So that was true in court. I'm like, I'm the only one who had the combination to the safe. Those two dummies couldn't get in.
Also, I didn't trust them.
But it was so I'm hoping, like, in my head, I'm like, please just get rid of this shit. Like, just get rid of everything.
Flush the safe.
Flush the
didn't.
entire thing.
They didn't. Yeah.
And what
Damn it,
April had,
It's not flushing.
Throw
April's
it
like,
out the window. Just get
April's like,
rid of it.
I'm getting a message from Nick telepathically. He's telling me to put my credit cards on the stash.
On the
Take
fridge.
safe, throw it through the bathroom window, jump out the bathroom window, launch the safe into the woods, get rid of the drugs. Just be like, I don't know what happened. I just flew through this window. Who cares? Anyway, so by the time I get back to the house though, which again, it's a half mile. It didn't take very long. They were already inside. They had April and Kayla and all the kids out, just waiting. My kids, I think part of the reason people want to see the body cam footage is they're expecting to see like a big, tumultuous, chaotic scene. My kids are very well behaved. They're very respectful, especially of people like police and stuff. So they're just there. They're just waiting patiently. Like they don't know what to do. They don't know what's going on. And so they're just quiet and hanging out. It's the morning.
No, we want to see how filthy your house is. Aaron told us there was mountains of clothes everywhere.
They weren't running around because of all the debris.
We want to
exactly. Embarrass me. Yeah, there's a bunch of laundry because we were doing a bunch of laundry. There's 8 people, I guess.
Horrible
7
parent.
or 8 people.
Horrible
It's
parent.
flexible. In the house at the time, there's a lot of laundry generated. So we did have a bunch of laundry out in piles. It was color coordinated so they could go into the washer.
We knew it.
The cops said my daughter refused, dad said, don't open the door for police. It's like, that's not what my daughter said. That's not what I've ever told my kids. We said, don't open the door for anyone because we just had a fucking insane man who used to come to our house and now he wasn't allowed there anymore. So that's a big problem. And then we also had a nanny.
Nicholas, help! I've just been pulled over by a cop and now he want to slip his banana into my split. What should I do?
And this
Grab
is
your
Ellie, by the
suitcase
way.
and
I'm
run.
too retarded to figure out how to make my name show. Love y'all. I too love y'all.
Hi, Ellie. How's it going? So, where was I? Shit.
You said Aaron wasn't allowed at your
Your
house.
kid opening the door.
Yeah. So Aaron was no longer allowed in our house. So we didn't want him to come up and have one of the younger kids be like, oh, hey, Uncle Aaron or whatever. And then, our former nanny wasn't
call
allowed in
him
the house
that?
either. So
Uncle Aaron.
Did they really call him Uncle Aaron?
no, they called him Mr. Aaron.
Mr. Aaron.
My kids,
Better than cut the
sorry,
left to do.
my
That's
my
almost
kids,
worse.
my kids call every adult Mr. or Miss, out of respect. And until they have a reason not to, they don't call him
Like he's
Mr.
the
Aaron
bus
anymore.
driver. Good to see you today, Mr. Aaron.
Yeah.
Mr.
And they called
Conrad?
April. They called April Miss April. So,
And that's what you do now. You miss April.
Hacka, hacka.
thanks.
no worries.
I'm gonna throw you into the fucking sea. No,
Yeah,
anyway.
Moody did it again. He's thrown him under the bus again.
He'll only float. He's very buoyant.
So we now have these 2 adults who used to who the kids used to know were welcome into the house. They no longer are. So we told our younger kids, especially, like, don't open the door for anybody. Get mom or dad if there's anybody at the door at all. Plus, this is just good practice for like an 8-year-old. So my 8-year-old's like, Dad says don't open the door, and the cop's like, he said don't open the door for cops. I'm like, where did she say that? What the fuck are you talking about? And so then
She
this
might
big
have, though. She was zooted out of her mind.
She's like, I'm the real princess. Get out of here, cop. Or bring that back in here so I can. Never mind. Anyway, so the cop.
Jesus Christ.
So the big cop comes up and he battering rams open the door. Their guns out, man. Like their guns out when they arrest
That's
Kayla,
crazy.
That's
when they
amazing.
get Kayla in April. To their credit, when they knew a kid was around, they did put their guns away. So I'll give them. They did not point a gun at any child, which was nice. But they did point guns right at Kayla in April. Very traumatic for them. It was awful.
Awesome.
Kayla was asleep, so she's just in a bathrobe. And they have her hands
Aaron,
up.
that was worth $60,000. That was all we had. I needed that money. If those bitches only watch Goodfellas, maybe they would have learned from Karen Hill.
Kayla's in a bathrobe. April was dressed. They have both of them handcuffed. They never handcuffed me until I'm getting in the car. I'm like, neither of these two are going to do anything to you. I'm not either because I'm not insane. But
Did they
like,
let you drive back to the house, or did they handcuff you and take you to the house?
No, I drove back.
Okay.
They did not handcuff me until they were taking me to the to the jail.
That's nice. You didn't have to pay for a tow.
So I'm standing there with my arms at like
I know a
completely
place.
free. Yeah, I didn't have to pay
All
for it.
care towing.
Did the cops use the same handcuffs you used to keep April and your wife in your sex dungeon?
No, there was
Smelly
no
pussy
fur on
house?
these at all. It was
Oh,
it's really
fantastic.
frustrating. So yeah, so then I'm just standing there, and then I said, I want to see your probable cause statement because I know it's bullshit. And the detective's like, I'm going to bring you the warrant. And I'm like, okay, please do. He hands me the warrant. I look at it. I'm like, this is fucking trash. So I just threw it on the ground. And then I was just waiting there. And he's like, he comes up and he takes me aside and he's like, if we were looking for cocaine, we found it within 10 minutes. I was like, I don't know anything about that. Right. Like, you're not going to get me to sit here and say anything.
Right.
So I don't know anything about that. And to my credit, I didn't. It was the vial, the vial that April had on the nightstand, on the fridge. It was sitting on the fridge. And I didn't know it was there. She filled it like while I was asleep. So I didn't, no idea. So he's like, we found it. And I'm like, I'm not answering any questions about that. I don't know anything about what you're talking about. I wasn't even here. So I'm just asking about the warrant. And he's like, we've been looking into you for a long time. I'm like, okay. I don't know who you are. We've never talked. Like, stop this.
Wouldn't it have been easier to pin all this on your daughter? She's young. Like, just say, like, this is my daughter. She loves cocaine. I can't help her hobbies.
The worst part is the guns are hers, and she kept pointing them at me. But no, so that I'm only at the house about 10 or 15 minutes, and then they decide they make the arrest because they found that vial. They also arrest April. It takes them a little longer to arrest Kayla because she has to get she gets
Hair
to get
done.
dressed. Well, she got to get dressed, which was nice, and then she had to help get the kids needed clothes for the next couple days because to us they were going to go to their grandparents' house overnight, and that's what everybody at the scene told us, which of course changed dramatically.
These are the alleged smelly kids, right?
Yes, the alleged smelly children who were starving.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Fucking
All right,
unreal.
So Nick, I saw Josh Moon just came out with an episode saying that he's going to get the body cam footage in early June or in the next 2 weeks. And he says if he doesn't, he's going to sue the county. I heard you saying that there's no way the county is going to give out this body cam footage. What's going to happen with this?
Well, the law does not favor Josh on this one. It's hard to say always like what'll happen. Anything can happen, right? Like in a court situation. But the Minnesota Data Practices Act says that body cam footage is considered private data unless there's some reason or exception to the rule that makes it public. And Josh's theory of the case is that he says that there's a public interest in disproving a narrative that I have set forth. The problem with Josh's case is that it's based on him being a fucking retard. I never ever suggested that the police did plant anything in my house. What I said very clearly on a live stream a long time ago was the problem with possession cases is they have to prove that what was in the house belonged to the person who owns it.
This is something people use against you a lot, and they can't,
Right.
and likewise
Play it
accuse us of simping for you. You've just laid out hypothetical ways that the test could have come back positive. You're not alleging that. You're not saying this is what happened. You're just saying this could have happened and the same outcome would have occurred, and that's not saying that it happened.
Yeah, and this is in specific response to the search, and not even, this has nothing to do with my daughter at all. This is literally like, here are the hurdles that need to be overcome by the state in a possession case in a home. They have to prove that what was in the home was knowingly in the home and knowingly by the homeowner. And that means that there are a bunch of other people who are in and out of the house. So every police officer who goes in there, in theory, like it's possible they could drop a bag even by accident if they had picked it up from somewhere. I don't know. It's unlikely, but they have to go through and prove this beyond any reasonable doubt. So they have to eliminate.
I watched some of these body cam videos where so they'll find drugs in a car and they'll basically say, if no one takes credit for owning these, we pin it on the driver. Or is it different because it's a car or?
Well, they can pin it on the driver all they want. I'm talking about what they have to prove at trial though. For the driver has to be any criminal charge, you have to have a mens rea. It's an intentionality. So driver has to be, or the homeowner or whoever, knowingly in possession of an illegal substance. And so,
but you described the scene pretty well. I think if the body cam footage comes out, it's not going to be anything that we're surprised by.
I don't know.
Okay. So maybe you haven't described everything that happened. The thing that was interesting about it is that Josh Moon was so confident. He's like, it was going to come out this weekend coming up. And now he's going, I'm not sure. I heard maybe in early June, I'm going to get more information. It sounds like he's starting to pull back on his confidence level of getting this.
So again, there's two ways that this could become public. One is if it was used at trial, if it was entered into evidence, it goes from private data to public data, because if it's unless the file's sealed. We didn't have any evidentiary hearings that involved the body cam footage. It was never entered into evidence in either case, and so that shouldn't matter. So the only avenue of quote unquote attack he would have would be that there's a public interest in correcting some sort of improper narrative. What he's missing is that tends to involve something like a case that involves like a racial question. There's some like prevailing narrative that is causing unrest levels of concern, and they want to correct the record to maintain the peace or something like that.
Usually this riots is what they need to get this body cam footage to fix,
and it's like they have no reason.
There's no busybody clause.
No, there isn't one of those. There isn't. Well, we really want to fucking see. Like, we really want to fucking see. That's not a lot of guys on
Kiwi farms who want to see this. Yeah, let's go. Come on.
We've been jerking off for months. We want to come.
But also the way that your like conviction is happening, you're not going to be convicted of a felony unless you break probation. So you'll never, I guess, unless probation is broken, it'll never be a guilty outcome.
And I've already, I've pled guilty, so they don't need the body cam footage to prove it. There will never be an evidentiary hearing that involves this body cam footage. It just doesn't need to happen. So, but Josh, he can certainly sue and try. Like, there is a way to attempt to get them to reclassify it as public versus private data. And that's, again, that's fine if he tries. I don't see the legal theory that gets him there, but I'm always willing to be surprised.
Yeah. Well, Tukey doesn't understand something. In the last couple of months, we've seen 2 body cam footages in our own universe come out very easily.
It depends where you are, because what state were they in?
Jersey and Florida.
So Florida's the Sunshine State, and Florida takes Sunshine State literally as far as government records. It's really easy to get body cam footage in Florida, and that's why you find so much of it online. Jersey, I don't know. I'm not familiar. Minnesota has very protective body cam laws, like specifically. It might be easier, but we're talking about the inside of someone's home. And even in other states, like the inside of someone's home is typically regarded as private. There's what government reason is there to invade the privacy of someone else and put that publicly? It's way different.
It's a very long thread on Kiwi Farms. It's a very long thread.
I know.
That's the reason.
That website's mine now, bitch. It's like, Chris Chan, I'm coming for your record.
You're gonna get a sex change too?
Like, once the body cam footage does come out, though, if it does, wouldn't that like make Aaron uneat the cum and love his kids? Like that's the thing that's going to change.
That's the thing. I don't like. All of a sudden now, Aaron is like edging everybody about this body cam footage and saying you're worried about it and everything. It's like, I imagine we can all kind of picture what's going to be in it. There's no new information. I imagine it'll be embarrassing. I imagine it'll be.
The only thing that really,
I want to see it, of course.
The only thing that 100%.
Don't tell everybody we just watched it in Vegas. No, it's a joke. It's a joke. No, I mean, there's generally speaking, yes, the house is very messy. There's a lot of people. It's a lived-in house with very active kids, right? Like I don't care if people know I lived in a messy house. It's story of my life. That being said, it's not
heard how messy it was in April's chest.
It's not a dirty house. It's a messy house. And so that's one thing. I mean, the cops are like, well, there's dust on the vents.
There is literally
bathroom.
a fly around your head as you're saying.
I know. I fucking hate flies. Believe me, I know.
Bad timing.
He's swatting it. It's not filthy.
It's not filthy. Gross.
Richard Leland Neal over here.
When the fly's lover comes back, then it'll be better. No, so like I know that's there, and that's pretty obvious from the descriptions, though. So people are going to see, they would see again laundry, and there's going to be like cluttery places in where stuff is like stacked up because I don't know, buy stuff. Well, but that being said, there is stuff in there that is like this is private, right? Like some of the stuff would be it's just you've got. There's video of like prescription meds and shit of people in the house. That doesn't need to be out there, right? Like that type of stuff is just, that's voyeuristic curiosity about what
yes, we
take.
want it. No.
And so it's like there's no reason to do that. There's no reason for people to see where my kids sleep or where my kids play, or anything like that. So no, like if they try and sue for it, I'll fight it. Fuck Josh. Josh, do a push-up. Do one. Try.
People have some questions for you.
Josh
real quick.
is in the chat, by the way.
Oh no.
Is he? Good
Send
God.
him the link.
You didn't answer my question, Rackets. Now, what am I supposed to do with this boy in blue banana split, you twink?
Okay, this is insane.
I don't know what that is.
11 idle hands absolutely don't condone what Nick did, but he seems remorseful and looks like he's trying to fix things. If the kids are okay, he's okay. Aaron has zero remorse and will end up on a murder documentary. I don't know if he'll murder. I don't know if he has it in him. Mr. Aaron, are your kids Indiana Jones sidekick? Mr. Aaron, Mr. Aaron.
Dr. Jones.
Just short round running around.
Someone in the chat was calling him Miss Aaron.
So this scumbag snitch, Aaron eats coom, so I'm clearly a hero.
Who said that?
Whatever. I was hungover and still drunk that morning and needed a pick-me-up. So I did some white lines and drove my kid to school.
Jesus Christ.
Nope. That was the crazy thing. I was stone sober.
We believe you. Kip Smith, treating Nick as a cool guy is gross just because he will talk. He's a buddy. I think only Carl sees him for what he is, a piece of shit that will talk. I want to kind of address this too, because like,
we're all best friends. Don't listen to him right now. Don't.
There's a
He
world.
sends me nude pictures of himself all the time. It's weird.
There is a world where everything Aaron has said in the past week, and I had clips, but we don't really need to play them. Everything Aaron said in the past week could be true. Nick was manipulating April. Nick got a hold of April's phone. Nick was tweeting all these things. Nick and April fabricated these texts. Nick could have fabricated these texts from April on his own. Anybody can get another phone and text your phone and store that number as April and have at it. There's a world where all that's true. There's a world where Nick is fucking up and back on drugs. There's a world where Nick is drinking again. There's a world where all this is happening. And believe me, I'm going to have the marshmallows for the bonfire when it happens. That's just a fact. The point is how Aaron deals with all this. Aaron is completely wrecking his show and livelihood to address every single one of these rumors as it comes out. And because we know for a fact he handles things that are true in that fashion, it makes it seem like all the other stuff that we don't know 100% is true is also true. Whether or not Nick made all this up and is trolling everybody just to get back and fuck Aaron's life because we know you want him dead. It's very funny.
That.
It's very funny how Aaron's handling it all. So like, kudos to you, I guess, if all this is made up. I don't know. There's a world where that's true, though.
I didn't say I wanted him dead. Someone asked me why I was doing this. I said, because he isn't dead yet. Those are two
Yes,
way different things.
That is very
I
different.
think if you wanted him dead and you were like, oh God, yes.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
he's jerking off.
probably. Yeah, I was flicking my bean to it, right? Like that was the.
And to the people who think like we're treating Nick like he's a cool guy or anything, you've seen the photos of him. Nobody thinks he's a cool guy. The point is there is a guy who's been punished. We always talk about like Aaron getting on. Oh, he's getting out of this, or he's getting away with this, or he's getting off with this. This is a punishment. Like this has been a grueling year of multiple cases, a family case and a criminal case. And now he's got 5 years of probation. I've never once heard him say, I didn't have cocaine. Somebody did that to me. I didn't put my family through anything. He said all the opposite, actually.
Nobody gave it to me. Like I went and bought it.
It's just how you handle it once you're out of it. It really is. And we've watched Aaron for a year be out of it and continue to dig himself into holes. So we're just comparing two things here. We're not saying one person is good and one person is evil, one person did right and one person did wrong, because life rarely works like that. I don't think you would ever say you didn't fuck up, you didn't put your family through hell, you did, like you've said, right? I mean, you didn't do a good thing. Nobody thinks you're a good guy.
I said it on the record in court, like for the world to have preserved forever. Like there's a court transcript that said I really fucked up. And, like I hurt my family, I hurt my community, or I think I said betrayed, but like I betrayed my wife, my family, my community. Like I did all those things. I know. I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to do? Like try and go back and undo it? I'm sorry.
Yeah. All you can do is move forward and try to correct, the future.
Yeah.
That's really all anyone can do. I don't like.
There are some things, though, that like I will defend forever. Like my children were never in danger. My children were never neglected. They were never hungry or stinky ever. And it's really fucking gross that the county and the sheriffs were fine putting that in their reports, because that type of shit sticks with the kids. Mm-hmm. And that's not fair to them. Because,
I don't believe for a minute your children weren't stinky or sticky. Every child I've ever met is disgusting and coated in chocolate.
But they're that same level of disgusting that every other kid is. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'll let you get away with that one.
Do not hit the like button. It's a reverse work.